I feel silly. I hit the record button instead of the live button, so you guys just missed the last 3 minutes of explanation of what we're going to be doing, as well as my intro. So, hi everybody. 01 of 1 here. How's it going? We are back in Space Engineers, and in the last episode we had an issue with pendulums, particularly this one right here. So you can see right now that it is still swinging, so I am not moving right now, right? You can see this thing is still moving back and forth ever so slightly, right? So we're attempting to fix that, and the way that we're doing that is via this. Now, here's the thing. Like, I don't know if I actually want this on here like that. Yeah, we're gonna... Okay, we'll just start over. It's fine. That's all just gonna get taken apart. Eventually. There you go. Okay. So I'm gonna go to what I should have done, which was this. No, not this one. This one? Yes. There we go. That one. Because then it's like this angle is straight and it's not kind of, you know, off to the side or whatever. And plus it fits a little bit better with these things. So let's just put all of these back on. And actually, hang on. Let me think. Where do we want the pistons to be? Because we still have to put pistons on here, right? Now, if we put the pistons on the bottom around this area, right? Then... then our pivot point is going to be at the base of the piston right here, which means less movement down here rather than if we put it up there. Now, if we did 4 pistons at the top, and we had each of them expand at the same rate, then we would have 4 pivot points, which means it might be a little bit stronger. But it is possible that that could still do little pendulum swings. So if we're going to do this, we probably need to have the pistons as close to down here as possible. Viking, welcome, does his 2 party emojis. And then Carl, welcome, does the hi emoji and the thumbs up emoji. All right. Okay, let me think about this. So obviously, the closer we get our pistons to this bottom section here, the better. All right, that should be fairly obvious and straightforward. So if I were to take this out and go with this instead, or if we went with something like this instead. So we have a nice solid block to connect to. But then we would have to take out this, and I don't know if this is going to impact like where everything is connected to on here, right? So I think what we would probably want to do is put a merge block down here, and it'll just be a permanent merge block. It'll just always be there, and that is what we will connect our piston to. So if we have that, that means that our piston is going to have to be connected up to here, so we're going to have to go down from the top. Okay. Let me see. So if I go out like this, I'm sure I could do... maybe not that one, maybe this one. No, that's not right. That one. Yeah, there we go. No, that's not it. We need the flat on the bottom, not on the top. Okay, so how do we get that in there like that? I mean, obviously we can put it in here like this, I suppose. And then I could do, you know, this thing over here like that or something. And then this would just be kind of like how it's connected in there, I think. See, and then having this on here as a design doesn't really make much sense anymore, so get rid of that. Then I suppose we could change this to that and make it look at least a little bit more interesting. And then what I could do here is instead of having that on there like that, we can go with this block. And then we can put this up here. Kind of works, maybe, sort of. I don't know. There we go. Okay. Okay. Something like that anyways. Now, of course, this whole thing, meaning the piston, is going to have to come out. But before I can do that, I have to have this thing reconnected down on the side here, which means this whole thing could probably go. And then we'll figure out something else to do here. Okay. So there's that. And then I think it might actually make more sense if we had the pistons mounted permanently to the drill head versus from the drill stand. Because it's from the drill stand that we're going to have to adjust. The drill head isn't going to change, right? So if we change this ever so slightly, and we throw the pistons in here, and then instead have that go like that, that could maybe work. Maybe. And then ideally, we would then have the merge block on top of here. Now that's going to push it off to the side a little bit, but I think that should be all right, as long as this thing can still reverse. Looks like it can. Good. All right, so that's what we'll do there. And then let's see, that's got to go to there. All right. Okay. So then that can go there, and then that can go there. I don't like that it's kind of bouncing. It makes me a little nervous. But it should be fine. And we'll have that go out to the outside corner so that I can actually access each of these from the outside corner. Carl said, was that old rig you had plans you found online, or was that all your design? Because on a smaller planet-side drill it would have worked better, and it was cool looking. That's just all me. I mean, who else is going to come up with something as crazy as that, right? Alright, so that is going to push out a little bit, but I think that should be alright. Okay, so now I need to bring something all the way down here so I can get a merge block in there, and then as soon as I get that merge block connected, that should be better. And I think the pivot point is going to be at this, at the end of the piston here, and maybe not so much as the piston goes out, but I'm not sure exactly if that's the way that's going to work. Okay, so I think we probably want this to be that color as well. Let's see. And then, Carl, I suppose a better answer to your question is I don't really look at other people's space engineers' design. Like, if I'm going to get, like, input from anything, it'll be from something real, right? So, like, the pirate ship, I'm actually looking at a picture of a pirate ship. For the shark, I'm actually looking at a picture of, like, an actual shark. And then, same thing with the turtle. I was looking at a picture of an actual turtle. And then, so this one is just... like, I had an idea as soon as I saw, like, this huge crater that I wanted something huge in here. And then, originally it was just going to be, like, a standard just cross drill, right? And just big. But then it's like, well, what if I made it spin and, like, had different parts spinning in different ways and then, like, had the whole thing spinning on top of that? Like, it's extremely inefficient to do it this way, but it looks cool. So I went with it. And then the idea of the drill rig here, this is based very, very loosely off of oil rigs that I've seen before, like in the Caribbean. Pictures of them, I haven't actually seen them in person. But, you know, it's just kind of like a raised platform with, you know, like a walkway or whatever. And then all the important stuff is kind of up here at the top. So, yeah, that's kind of where most of my stuff is coming from. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, so now I need to do just a ridiculous number of pillars going all the way down. Now, the cool thing about these pillars is even though they are very, very small, they are still a solid block. Now, I kind of wish we had like a cone, which I'm pretty sure we don't. Yeah. But, you know, like a column or something. Maybe I put columns on here first to kind of get everything kind of situated first. And then I can do the pillars in the middle because then it looks a bit more, I don't know, I guess organic. I think that's the wrong word. But it looks more like it's meant to go together. Like I would have preferred a cone, like full block width over here and then down to like a half block width or something at the tip. But we don't have that, so. Whoops. Dr. Close Enough, welcome, says, Zero, the pillar of the pirate community. Ha 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 ha. Now, what this is going to kind of look like, if I'm doing it correctly, is this will sort of look like chains, right? All right, so if I've got that on here, I'm gonna need to go down to here, I wanna say. And then, oh, actually, hang on. let me put a column in there first. And then we'll put the merge block on the end. Hopefully it will let me put it in there. Unable to place. Because the whole thing is moving. Why? Why are you moving? Okay, options here. We move this up one. So we're avoiding the complicated area. Now hopefully this is out far enough. It is not. Okay, so we need to go up 2. All right, let's try that again. And then the merge block here, where it'll actually fit. And then that goes like that. Good. Okay. And now this thing can go up. Should probably control it, right? Now, as soon as this thing is connected, hopefully it doesn't explode. That is an option here, or a potential thing that could happen here, is an explosion. Just so you guys know. Clang, watch over me, if you don't mind. Here we go. Okay, so now that is connected all the way through here. So what that means I can do is get rid of all of these pistons. And it's holding on strong. Sorry, Carl, am I making you nervous here? This is why I made the monument to Clang over there. When you're doing crazy crap like this, you have to. Alright, now that should still be all connected, right? Yes, okay. Okay, so now I can take this. Actually, you know what? No, we're going to go with this instead. And then put that in there. Now that should connect because we're still mounted to the side here. Okay, so it's all still connected. Good. And then I'll put another one in here. Basically the same thing. And then we have to run this all the way down. And then get it to connect somehow. Okay, so before I go too crazy with this, we can't just have a solid conveyor system going all the way down, right? We need to have an area where we can disconnect it and break it apart, extend it, do whatever we need to do, but it's got to be there, right? Now, I can do that up here, which kind of makes sense, or I could do it down there, which also kind of makes sense. But if we're going to have our workers up here doing things up here, it would make more sense to have it up here, right? And then also, did that just say that my power is low? It did, okay. That would also create a break between our gray colored patterned block there and the frosty one, right? All right, good to go. All right, so now from here, we build our little Frosty Frost going all the way up to the top. So this is where it gets a little bit boring and repetitive, but should work. All right. Okay, is that going to be where that goes? All right. Now, hopefully I can stick this thing in here. I most definitely cannot. All right, so how high up above the ice are we right now? We are practically on top of it. Okay. So that means that we got to go one shorter, and we got to pull the whole thing up. So that'll be fun. All right, so connector. Okay, so now if I extend this or if I retract this, it'll pull the whole thing up, right? So that's the idea here. Now, the only other thing that I'm thinking here is that we're also going to need a piston for this thing to extend as this is going down. So yeah, we're going to need 5 pistons all working at the same time doing the same thing. That'll be fun, right? Did I build that on here? I did, and I have to go up about 2 meters. Okay. So we're going to bring this down. That's going to bring the whole thing up. So we're at like 6.4, so we'll bring it up to like 4-ish. And we'll see where we are. Okay. Put it about right there. Now, luckily, this kind of stopped right when it got on there. And also, this is not lining up correctly. It must line up correctly. Now, here's the thing. Do I actually need to do that? Or do I just think I need to do that? I think I just think I need to do that. But, you know what, we'll just go with this until I find out that I did something wrong. Okay, so now as soon as that is locked, that piston can no longer move that up and down, right? So it's not great. So what I have to do is inside of here, we're going to go down 2 blocks. We're going to put a piston over here with another connector in here. Now we're locked at the top, we're locked here. So disconnecting that is not going to make the drill fall. So now that that's done, we're going to get rid of that, get rid of that. Now we have to put a piston in there. Unable to place piston. ¿Por qué? Because it doesn't like these things. Viking says just merge it at the top. So I get what you're saying, and I thought of that too. But do you remember how I had that part in there where I was putting in sections of pipe? If I do it this way, I'll be able to go back to that design. And then I can actually make something functional up there. So that is why I am doing it this way. Alright, so now that I've got that. So Something that you should know by now about most of my designs is they're hardly the most efficient, but they do look cool. So going for cool factor here, not for necessarily perfect use case scenario. Alright, so I had this, I want to have this kind of like the same direction if I can. So this will be like the central drill bit here, right? And then as I move this down, I can set up another thing over here, and then we can put in another one. And then because we're actually supported by these now, like this is our main supporting structure, this whole thing in there is going to be strictly for looks. So it's not going to function as like a means to hold everything in here. Like that's not what it's going to do. Okay, so now that I got that, I'm going to have to increase this a little bit to move it down. Probably about right there. So that way I can put this piece in and then get that to merge. All right, so now once I've got that on there, so now this central pillar container, whatever conveyor thing, right, is actually structurally holding all of this together, right? Now, what I have to do is move this thing down and install enough extra sections in here to make it work. So this is going to be the interesting part. So we're going to turn this off, which then immediately disconnects that, right? And then we'll bring this all the way back down. Right, so that works as intended. And then what I have to do is then put in more pieces in here. So let's see if we can do that. Because I need this piston to be the same as all of these pistons, and in this case, all the way down. Okay, so this is hurting my brain, by the way. That looks to be about 2 blocks. All right, so column, and then we're going to need another merge block. Now this should, let me put that in there. Now the reason why there is a difference in here right now is because there's an offset with the pistons. So you can see that we've got that little bit right there. Let me see if I can get that kind of exactly. Yeah, so that right there. That offset is what is reflected here, right? So I have to figure out what that offset is, and then the lowest value that any of these can be has to be equal to that offset. So we're going to say 0.15, and we'll extend this up a little bit. Should probably be watching this. Okay, so that's 0.15 right there. So I was pretty sure that was what the offset was. And now if I merge this or turn this on, hopefully it doesn't explode, which is a possibility right now. Please don't explode. Good. All right. So with that, our current offset is 0.15. Okay. So if you ever need to know that for in the future, a piston's offset with the piston head is 0.15 meters. And if you know these values, that'll help you avoid clang a little bit. Because if you have your values correct, then you don't really have to worry about too much else. All right, so we're going to reverse this, bring it back down to its minimum. All right, so now when I bring down the other chains, I should be able to connect this pretty much exactly as it is. And now because I put a minimum distance on here, I have to limit the maximum distance in our piston here, right? So then that maximum distance here has got to be 9.85, because if we're cutting off 0.15 inch or 0.15 meters of travel on the piston, that means that if this thing tries to push to the full 10, it's going to be pushing beyond what this thing is set to, and that will cause clang, right? Maybe not enough to break anything, but it could be. So it's better just to avoid it. So by having any kind of an offset on here, you have to reflect it on both sides. Man. And all of this is after a lot of trial and error. When I say a lot, I mean like a lot. Should be getting close to, not quite there yet, but close. All right, so now we should be able to put in a column, and we should be able to put in a merge block. And that should merge. There we go. So yeah, like all of these little things, like you have to pay very, very close attention to. So I've noticed that over time, they've made the tolerances for things a little bit more tolerant than they used to be. So you can mess up quite badly and like things still won't explode. Like you have to mess up really, 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 really badly for things to explode. But it can still happen. So now that we've got all of this, okay. So this is going to be piston 1 drill head. Then piston 2 drill head. Piston 3 and then this one is piston 4, okay. Drill head, and then piston 5. I do not wish to respond. I would like to change this. There we go. All right, so now that I've got that, we're going to need all of our pistons to be grouped, so that way they all work in conjunction with each other. So these all need to be pistons drill head. So these all need to be set to the same exact thing. 5, negative 0.5, good to go. Now, this one, oh, and then inertial tensors, do we want those on here? Probably. Piston, there we go. Okay, so that makes everything a little bit tighter. May or may not be a good thing. Okay, so this one has the limit on the maximum distance. These all should have a limit on the minimum distance. Good. 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 Okay. So now these should all work as intended. All right, so now more pillars. This is probably going to be way too hard to do this. I'm just going to take that out because that gives me 25 interior plates. I'm trying to get it so I can just go kind of like straight down. This is a much smaller space than an actual block. It's easy to go off center too. Okay. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, and don't need that, and certainly don't need 168 of those. All right, I will take the extra 25 of those, though. Here we go. All right. So now we put in our column and our merge block. Okay, that should, there we go. All right, and then we can go up to here. I almost clipped my head on that magnet right there. That was fun. All right, so pillar again. Oh my God. Okay. All right, column goes on there, and then we need a merge block to go on the bottom of this, and that should merge. As soon as it's built. Perfect. All right. So now, because this is, I mean, these things do look like really, really flimsy, but they are solid. So with that, our only pivot point now for this whole thing is going to be all the way down here, right there. So the amount of movement that this thing will have back and forth should be, at this point, negligible. So we can give that a try real quick. So rotors for the drill heads, and then the main drill head. I'm going to turn all of those back on. And we should probably turn all of the drills back on. There we go. Now, that should be good, I'm thinking. Now, I'm going to compare this to our Monument of Clang, and we'll see if we get any kind of movement whatsoever in this. All right, so I am not moving, and we're looking in between the chain and the conveyor belt to see if there's any side-to-side movement whatsoever. And from what I'm seeing, 0. So, our pendulum has been fixed. And because of the way that I built this, I can easily change this, add this, do whatever I need to do with this. And yeah, it should all work. So, just for funsies, let's extend this thing out again. Pistons for the drill head, we're going to make their velocity. Actually, let me just check each one to make sure that they are, in fact, at the same. So, negative 0.5, ooh, negative 0.5, negative 0.5, negative 0.5, negative 0.5. Okay. So now I can go into here and change all of this into 0.1, 0.01. Go with 0.01. 0.1. They're not moving. Okay, so that means that I messed something up somewhere. Just take these out real quick. They're not necessary to the function of it, they're just decorative. Just want to make sure that I'm not breaking anything. And then we'll take that out too, because I want to get below these merge blocks here. My guess is something just got kind of stuck to the side of one of these things. Could be wrong. No? They don't want to move. Is there not enough force? No, I should have fixed the force issue. They're all moving at the same speed, right? Okay. Okay. By the way, this thing is absolutely not moving at all. So you see the cursor kind of like right on the middle of the corner right there? It is not moving at all. So that's good. The only bad thing is the pistons aren't moving either. So I'm wondering if I need more force in them. Or if I turn off the inertial tensors, is that going to help? No, that didn't help. There shouldn't be an issue. I took out all the blocks that could be pushing them outside of where they want to be. Let's see, 250,000. And then we'll do 250,000 there as well. Is that doing anything? No. Okay, what if I disconnected this? Okay, so that bounced around a little bit, so it didn't like that. These things still aren't too happy with me, though. Okay. I think they're moving down way too fast, though. Okay, so let's see. Pistons, drill head, 0.01. It's close. It's bouncing. It's hitting this. Okay, so everything is still moving as it should. Maybe is the inertial tensor off on this? Yeah, it's off. Okay. Okay, what are you hitting, dude? Hit something over here now too. What are you hitting? But yeah, so if you look, the only bouncing that we're getting, like I'm gonna put my cursor right there. Right, so the top portion here is not moving practically at all. It is a little bit, but I think that might actually be me moving. So you can see it is bouncing, right? But it's bouncing at the rotor instead of way up there, which is causing the huge pendulum back and forth movement. Now the bouncing is not great. So I'm wondering, is this inertial tensor on? And is that going to help? Okay, why are you getting stuck over here? All right, so these things are still technically working, right? Of course, as soon as I do that, it stops moving. So that's kind of awkward. But if I do this and I leave it here for a little while, maybe it'll smooth this out. So if I have 3 of these connected, it's no good. The pistons don't move. But if I have just 2 of them connected, then it's all good. How that works, I don't know, but it is what it is. I'm just happy that it is not bouncing. And it seems to be working as intended. Yeah, and then putting the inertial tensor on that central rotor seemed to work to smooth this out really, really well. But yeah, there's our drill rig. It appears to be working somewhat, so that's good. I'm going to go through here and change the speed. Well, actually, hang on. Let me rebuild this up too, because I don't think the stuff in the middle was the issue. Okay. Oh, it doesn't want to go there. Interesting. Okay, maybe that will be an issue. I didn't think it would be. I don't know. Yeah, it does not like being in between there. Huh. I mean, okay. I just need it to work. That's pretty much it. Maybe I should lower the speed to, what is it, 0.01 right now? So we'll make it like 0.005. Yeah. So we'll drop it by half. And I'm wondering if it's just like an issue of not having enough power. I mean, I give it like 250. Okay. See, I just needed more power. All right, that's easy enough. Good. Should be able to see that moving. It's not moving. Why does it say that it's moving? I mean, I've pushed things with more pistons than this before. I don't know why this doesn't seem to want to work. I don't know. Can always give it even more power. Wait, I think I did that wrong. Pistons, drill head. Yeah, 2, 500, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, are you moving again? Not really. It says that it is. Oh, no, it is. Okay. Yeah, I can see it. Very, very slowly moving. Good. So all I needed was more power. Is this one also moving? Yes, it is. Okay, so they all should be moving, which means that we should be going down slowly. Good. All right. So yeah, when the pistons don't want to do what they should be doing, just give them more power. All right, so that is doing its thing, so I'm fairly happy with that. All right. This, I don't think I necessarily need this anymore. Or that, technically. But we'll leave it there. It looks interesting. All right. How are we doing for our ice? Hide empty. Okay. So we're getting about 7K every 1.5 seconds. Every 1 second. That's pretty good, I think. All right, so now that I've got that, let's see. Now, the only thing I would say about giving pistons more power is you have to be very, very, very sure that they will do what they're supposed to do with that extra power, and they won't do something they're not supposed to do. Sounds simple, I know, but you know, just something you got to keep in mind. All right, so let's see. So we've got our. Okay, I don't actually like this here, so I'm going to remove it. I am going to go with the hydrogen engines to power this entire base, as was suggested yesterday. I believe it was Gordon McAllister that suggested that. So I'm going to do that because I think, honestly, it makes more sense. And then I can take what is supposed to be in here and actually make it like an actual office to work within. So it's, you know, more like a legit drill rig. At least that's my thought. All right. Then we got this little guy over here who's doing great. Okay, so next thing that I probably am going to need to build is landing pads. So we're gonna start wasting all of our steel plates again, and we're just gonna build a ridiculous amount of floor here. So okay, we have a lot to build here still. All right. I think I'm actually placing it faster than the bobs can keep up with me. Either that or the bobs just don't have enough plate. That's probably what's going on right now. All right, so I mean, we got to keep going, so just got to keep on. All right. I mean, we've placed a lot of it already, which is nice. How we doing? Yeah, there's no swinging going on. It's not rocking either. It's just nice and steady. Nice. I've actually dug out quite a lot of ice already. Sorted Euphemism, welcome. Says, what sort of design are we going for? Treasure Island, Captain Harlock, SDF-1, large angry slab of metal? Sort of pirate theme is kind of what we're going for. So that's why we've got our pirate ship, right? And then also at our home base, this is not our home base, by the way, we've got sort of like a pirate area in there that we're working on. And then the only reason why I came over here is because this is going to be an ice mine. And so it's going to be slightly more industrial than, you know, quote unquote pirate. But the idea here is that this is going to be like a fallback position for pirates. So on the surface, it'll look industrial, but underneath, and very specifically over in this cavern right here, it's going to be a secret pirate base where we will build something like a submarine. Dr. Kostanov says, I like the last option the best. The angry slab of metal. But yeah, so this is going to be kind of like our secret hidden, I don't know, shipyard, I guess, where the pirates are building their, you know, secret weapon or whatever. But yeah, so we're going definitely nautical for as much as we can, and then that's actually what Space Engineers has been so far since I started recording. So the very first option when we were still playing on the public servers, before I found out how slow they were and how limited they were, we built a sea turtle. Ship that looked like a sea turtle. Functioned well, and I liked it. And then the next one was a shark, and that one worked really, really well, and it looked really good. And then in this one, we made a pirate ship. And because this is a single-player world, I am not limited by PCU, which means that I can basically build whatever I want, because I control all aspects of this playthrough, which is nice. So what we've got going on here, this is going to be all of our ice storage. And this is where, you know, pirate ships will come to, I don't know, stock up or whatever. And then we've got our drill rig down here, and I wanted it to be just a massive drill rig. And to give you an idea of like what this ice asteroid, like how big it actually is, so this is a crater inside of it, right? And those drills right there, I think are 11 drills wide, and we've got 5 sets of them, right? So huge. But if you take a look at the entire asteroid, compared to that little thing right there, we are tiny. Let's see, Dr. Close Enough says, yep, nothing better than angry metal, lol. And then Sordid Euphemism says, nice, turtles all the way down. And then Carl does his little members only emoji for the turtle. That was actually the picture that I used for the turtle. And to give you an idea, how do I get into the blueprint menu? It's one of the F buttons, right? I don't remember, dude. Well, we can just do it this way. So we'll go here, that'll open that up, and then I'll just delete that. Yes, but then I'll still be in the menu, which is good. So if we go down to, so Crimson's Corsair, that is the ship that we've got right now. Let's see, Gophers, Lancings. A lot of these things I've made myself. The little truck I made myself. This light patrol drone is not mine. And this is when I was trying to do gears. Yeah, that doesn't work so well. It's a Mars rover that I made like forever ago. That is not my design right there. Wait, no, is it? No, that is my design right there. Okay. Then the Mosquito, that is my design. The Mud Skipper, also my design. The Nighthawk, also my design. These 4 are not. Porpoise is mine. The Quadrix is mine. Space Brick is mine. The Space Brick didn't actually work. So here's the Space Shark. Oh, you can't actually see it. That sucks. I could maybe probably build the Space Shark in here. That would be interesting. And we have the Brick, the Claw, the Disassembler. This is with the shield mods. The Great Turtle. So that is the turtle that I built. I could build this thing too. Let's see. That is another version of the turtle. This is when I was trying to do trains. Josh Kosino says the Hungry, Hungry Space Shark. So this is the whole train thing. It didn't, I mean, it sort of worked, but it sort of didn't work at the same time. But it sort of did work, so I kind of kept it. This Cepheus is not mine. There's another version of the Space Shark. That is not mine as well. Great Turtle, Great Turtle. So I've got lots of different versions in here. But for now, our space pirate ship right here works very well. Even in battles, it works very well. Now, granted, I have the bobs, so that's the build and repair units. That's a mod. And that's the only thing that is making it possible for me to build at this scale, because otherwise I would drive myself absolutely insane with all the welding that I would have to do personally. And even if I made a ship to do the welding, it would be nearly impossible. Not completely impossible, but nearly impossible. So I'm going to grab some more plates here. Alright, so 1, 2, and 3. So if you want to draw any kind of like similarities between, you know, pirates, you know, of the real world and, you know, what we're doing in here, think of this as like maybe one of the Caribbean islands where, you know, the pirates have a base there where they grow food and, you know, whatever. And all the people there are technically pirates, but they have actual legit non-pirate jobs, and they just kind of support the pirates. So that's kind of what all of this is. And then this is also a little Quonset hut that I made for some of the workers here. It's got a little fireplace here. And yeah, just like a nice little area for at least 6 of them to sleep here, so they each get their own little beds. And I got to make more of these little huts as well, like kind of dotted all around here. And making a landing pad over here, but before I can make the landing pad, I actually have to, you know, fill in the ground. So that's annoying and takes a lot of clicks, but, you know, it is what it is. 2 and 3. I am actually not faster than the Bobs right now. Wow. The Bobs are actually faster than me, and I'm clicking like a crazy person. The only reason why they're slow here is because, yeah, look at how fast that is. See, this is why you need the Bobs if you're building big like this. Let's see. Dr. Kilsonov says, I'm apparently the pirate doctor, Viking is the mechanic, and Carl, Mountain Man 1987, is the ... chef, question mark? I mean, Carl, if you want me to make you a kitchen, I can make you a kitchen. Alright, so let's see. Alright, 1, 2, 3. No, Bobs, you're not supposed to catch up with me. I'm supposed to stay ahead of you. You're too fast, Bobs. Alright, looks like we're out of plates now. Okay. Carl says, at this point, I feed everyone more rum than food, LOL. Right, so Carl is actually our... he's our bar owner. We have a couple of bars on our pirate base, and he is the proud owner and operator of both of them. I mean, I don't know if he's proud, but he's the owner and operator of them. So the pirate base is actually a... it's technically 2 large hollowed out asteroids that are sort of merged with one another. The main central one that is pretty much like a geode, where it's, you know, solid all the way around, and you got like a hollow center. That's where kind of like the more piratey area is. And then the other asteroid, which is hollow, but it's got like holes all over it, and large holes. I'm using that as a place to grow food. And so we've got like our piratey area, which is more, you know, pirate themed. And then we've got the farmers area, which is a bit more up-to-date, advanced, you know, streamlined, I guess. But the entire point of the farmers area is to support the pirates. So, does that make them pirates? I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge. And then the people who work here are going to supply the pirate fleet with all of their hydrogen needs for their ships. But yeah, so I'm just trying to... I picked like a nautical theme for all of my videos, at least for this, whatever you want to call it, for Space Engineers. So I'm trying to stick with it, and I'm just kind of building what I can. And that's our monument to Clang, by the way. And that was that way we could get this thing working without it exploding on us. And it seems to have worked for the most part. So all praise our Lord and Savior Clang. And yeah. Ran out of blocks. All right. Dr. Lozano says, oh yeah, dual bar owner. And then Carl says, I have a library named after me in the Turtle too, so I'm doing all right. I mean, I could probably build a Turtle if I really, really wanted to. I don't know if I have all the materials for it, but I could probably build it. And then even, if you think about it, even the Turtle was sort of piratey themed because I had that, like you had the main ship, right, with all of the main areas. It had a couple of bars in there, living areas, bunk areas, you know, all that other stuff. But then I also made it like a smuggling area too. And then I used the Willis ducks all over the Turtle so you can get from one place to another like unseen. And then the Willis ducks led to other areas where you could smuggle people. So it had like little areas for them to sleep and, you know, do their thing. So even that was kind of piratey themed. Right. So now I gotta wait for that to build. I mean, I could go over here to recharge, right? It's just a little bit slower. All right, so there's that. Good. And then I suppose the ship obviously isn't done yet. We're missing some sails and whatnot. And then also the entire interior needs to be done as well. So this is still another thing that I have to work on. But it's so big that I actually needed 2 gravity generators. So I've got that one for the front part, or for the back part, and I got this one for the front part. So one gravity generator could not cover the entire ship. So I needed 2. Then I've got the main projection right here. I should probably, let me go with this and put in another column. Just that way it looks, you know, slightly more spiffy. There we go. That is how we will do that. And we do have a projection on here as well, and then this is something I added after that. But we have the ability to store things, lock them down. So if I go and I take out a ship, and they have some tanks that I want, I can take the tanks, hook them into here, and then shuttle them from wherever to wherever. Oh, that is not the right color. There we go. Okay. This is almost done. All right, so this quarter section thing here is now done. All right. Okay, so now I got to figure out how to make sort of like a landing pad area out of all of this. I mean, at least it blends in, right? It's kind of camouflaged a little bit. I mean, I think it works. I mean, you've got like the regular patterns in here, right? So you got like this little cigar-shaped thing right here, and it's repeated there and 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 there. But you know, if you weren't looking for that, like I think it's pretty good. All right, so what I'm thinking we're gonna do is we're gonna make sort of like a Quonset hut type thing, and we're gonna make that be like the receiving area. So we're gonna set that. Gordon McAllister says, "You've been busy. Sorry, I'm late now." No worries. Welcome. And I'm actually gonna go. I'm pretty sure that it was you that suggested the hydrogen engines instead of the nuclear. So I took the nuclear out, and I'm actually gonna go with the hydrogen engines. I think that's, as a theme, I think it fits better with this, so I'm going to be doing that. All right, so we're gonna want to make sure that there's room to move through here. So let me see. Okay, so let's just figure out how we want to do this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, is that where I want that to be? No, I don't think so. I want this to be here, but probably farther out. And then I'm going to try to put like a little 45 section in here so we can kind of like, if I make a vehicle that could potentially drive on here, you will be able to, you know, drive through here. All right, so how do I guess like that. Okay, so that's got to be this thing. No, what am I? Oh, no, that's the wrong one. This one. There we go. It's like, why does that not match? All right. Okay, so then we're going to go back to this. No, not back to this. Okay, so we're going to go to this. There we go. And then this goes into that. And that. And then this gets our little tip piece. There we go. Alright, so that's going to be kind of like our little corner area here. And then we're going to need a 45 to go up. So that'll be this. And then also that. And then in here, that will go there. Okay, and then on the inside, it's basically just a 45 in between these two, and then we need a 2x1 going that way. Okay. Okay. That means that this is going to have to go into here, like this. Well, you know what? No. We're going to take that out, and we're going to put in just regular 45s. And then that should make this look a little better. There we go. All right. And then I do want to put in some windows, because this is going to be kind of like a, sort of like a terminal, but not quite like a terminal. Just going to be kind of like a loading dock sort of area for people to, I don't know, rest, relax, maybe check in on their shipments and stuff. Okay, so let's get that going into there. And once I've got that, I can start putting in the windows. And we'll do them in 3s, I think. That should be good. Do 3 sets going that way. We'll do 3 sets going this way. I think I'm out of silicon, maybe? Maybe not, I don't know. All right, so once I've got that, let's see, this has got to go like that. All right, now we're going to need more windows. Now, unfortunately, I'm only going to be able to place these 3 right now because the other ones require something either directly below or to the side or directly behind, and these are diagonal, so I can't place them on there. So, what I can do is continue to build up the wall here. And then we need that to go into there. And then once I have these in there, then I can place the windows. Energy low. Oh, too high. All right, down here. There we go. Okay. And then, unfortunately, I do have work tomorrow, and it is 8:30, so I think I may end up... Actually, hang on. Let me just... I'll finish this building, and then I'm probably going to log off. Not log off, but, you know, end the stream, whatever. Okay, so now once we have that... Oh, I did this wrong. Oh, whatever. Be a little bit bigger. That's fine. I mean, I suppose it's supposed to be bigger anyways. And then once we've got that, then we can put on this. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to fit in there, but I'm talking about the corner. So I'm just going to leave that kind of blank-ish for now. All right, and then up in here, we're absolutely going to put pipes in here. Let me see. Automatons, pipes. There we go. Apparently I need interior plates. Okay. I know I can get 25 off of this, right? And I can just kind of replace this. There we go. Nope, wrong thing. Don't want to go here, I want to go here. Okay, pipes. So, so what it's going to look like on the inside, and of course we got to, kit it out and, put, I don't know, some desks or something over here, maybe make like a little lounge area or something. But, yeah, so I think I'm going to end it here. We have an idea of what I'm going to do here, so it's just going to be like a little Quonset hut type style of build here. Getting through and making this side meet up with this side is going to be interesting. I don't think it'll be impossible, but it is going to be interesting. And then the corner here shouldn't be too bad either. We're going to need this there, and then this is going to be this. I think, no, not that. How is this gotta be? Oh, there isn't a nice block for that. Okay, well, I mean, we have a block, it's just not a nice block. Okay, that's fine. All right, and then we'll extend the pipeworks going this way, and then I think that should be the basic layout here. And yeah, and then we'll pipe it all up. We'll make it, breathable in there, nice and warm. Should be good. All right, but that is going to be it for the stream. I would like to thank you guys all for joining me. I do appreciate it. We fixed our drill, so it's no longer doing the pendulum swing anymore. And we actually pulled out a lot more ice out of there too, so that's all good. Yeah, I think overall we're doing pretty good. Pretty happy with it. But that is going to be it from me. Hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you did, hopefully you will join me for the next one, which will be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time from Freedom Land. But until